Hi, my name is April Lindau. I was born in the Philadelphia, or I grew up in the Philadelphia area, but I'm actually from here in Michigan. So today I just want to share with you guys, a little bit about my life growing up, how it was determined that I was deaf. Actually, whether I was born deaf or not, that I still don't know. So my mom was a single mother, and between me and her, we communicated. When I was young, with home signs. I would point to things, little gestures. But at this point, I really did not have any language yet. So when I was, young, I think I was around 3 years old. I was in the kitchen and I got into all the pots and pans and I was playing around with them on the kitchen floor. And what happened was, I was playing with one of the pans and I just dropped them like all over the floor. So, when I dropped the pans, they obviously made like all this noise, but I was oblivious. I just, kept playing like nothing happened. And my mom, was kind of looked at me and, thought something was wrong because I wasn't really responding to any of the noise. So my mom kind of, watched me, and after a while of her noticing that I really wasn't responding to any noise, she decided that she should take me to the doctor, and they ran all these tests on me, and eventually found out that I was deaf, and my mom was, shocked. She couldn't believe it. She was, all these questions started, going through her head, like, are you serious? What am I, supposed to do with a deaf daughter, So she just didn't know what to do. She was, her mind was just blank on the subject. Whether, even the question of whether, I should go to school or what school I should go to, and the doctor, recommended, maybe you should put her in some sort of preschool program. They have those, so, my mom just didn't know, where to start. In the town that I lived in, the town that I lived in, I was the only deaf, person in that whole town. Everybody else was hearing. So my mom decided to put me, in a preschool, and, the teacher, looked at me because I was the only deaf kid in that whole class. Everybody else was hearing. So yeah, my teacher, would look at me and be like, you're not like the other kids. So, eventually she told my mom, hey, you look, she can't stay in this classroom. I can't teach her. You're going to have to find somewhere else for her to go. And my mom was like, what? Like, no. Give her a chance. She can communicate. So my mom gave in, and it was frustrating because I had to go from school to school to school, and eventually my mom found a deaf school that I went in, and it was a commute from home, but after a while, around 7 years old, I finally started to develop a language, which was great. I started, quickly learning sign language, but my mom at this point didn't know any sign language at all. So it was kind of frustrating because we had a lack of communication. It was hard to carry on a conversation between the two of us, me signing and her not knowing any. But then, after a while, we started learning sign language together, and that was good. And then when I graduated, I went to another school. That school was great. I was just signing all the time. I learned so quickly. It was awesome. And I would go home and visit my mom, and she was still like talking a lot, like not really signing as much as I had hoped she would be. So. So yeah, it took a while, but growing up, I had a whole different perspective. It was, I told everybody, oh, I'm hard of hearing, I can talk, I can hear music, yeah, I can, I'm just like everybody else, but now I finally, found my identity, and I'm deaf, and I sign, and that's my culture, and it took a while to get there, but I finally, know my identity, and so that's my story.